a businessman namely Mr. Leo Montenegro. His father is a very wealthy and known businessman. Mr. Leo wanted to be independent and live somewhere peaceful and far away from the city, to build a name of his own without the help of his father.
So he researched about different rural areas or communities away from his father. He then found the city of San Carlos, a small community away from the busy city. He bought a property of 2,000 square meters of land for business in his house. Before starting a business, he observed the townspeople.
He paid attention to what the community lacked and started to look for suppliers for the food, products, and other essentials that he wanted to sell. As the construction of his building came to an end, he let the other business owners in town rent the space in his building. As time went by, Mr. Leo Montenegro's business boomed. Not until their community was struck by a 6.5 magnitude earthquake, which led to buildings and houses collapse, except for those buildings with a strong foundation.
A lot of people lost their jobs and their business, except for Leo. He may still have his business, but the people have no income. They are short with their money and are on a budget, which made them not afford the items sold by Leo. Because of this, his business went bankrupt and he was humiliated. He lost faith in his business and started to drown himself in alcohol. He lost his will to continue his business and started to think about leaving the town and starting anew in another city.
One day, he stopped drinking and reminisced about how he started his business before the tragedy. With him reminiscing, he started to gain inspiration to continue his business, and in order to do this, he needed the townspeople's help.
He gave most of them jobs in his business, such as selling his products in the neighboring city, running errands for the business, and so on. He invested in the stock market in order to gain more profits and to raise the salaries for those people who are working for him. And since most of the town people work for Mr. Montenegro, some can now afford to continue their own business and can afford Mr. Leo's stocks. As his career grew, so did the town.
Leo Montenegro is glad that he graduated with flying colors in his economics degree, since he applied what his course taught him in reality, which saved his life, his business, and the whole town from being poor and unable to stand up on its own again. He realized that studying economics would really help, especially in business, productions and consumptions of goods, or just life and economy in general. Since when you try to enter the business world, you should always know how to adjust in different places' needs and to compute the gross income or profit and gross salary. You should learn to see and differentiate other things that might help the town's economy to grow.
In economics, you should always be practical and knowledgeable about the business you enter, the products you produce, if it will benefit you or not. So the story of Mr. Leo Montenegro is all about the economy, due to the fact that if he did not observe the town well and invested a lot of money without knowing what the produce that the townspeople want, his business won't succeed. It is a great benefit for a businessman like him to be able to study and graduate learning about economics, since knowing a thing or two about how the economy works would be a game changer for people with business. This story just shows the importance of having knowledge in economics and how the economy works.